Hello and welcome to the referee training for the Bude Regional Heats of First LEGO League Challenge Masterpiece season. I've kept this video quite brief because there are lots of materials to help you with your judging of the referee in the robot game matches. I don't want to overwhelm you with information in this video, and actually the IET have got a brilliant recording that talks very thoroughly about the robot game, so I'm not going to rehash that during this. But I hope that this proves useful for you. So you have either volunteered yourself or been voluntold that you are going to be a referee at our Bude regional event. And we're really, really grateful for that. Refereeing on the robot games table is probably one of the most exciting roles you could possibly do on the day. It's very, very high stakes. It's really cool. Everyone loves it. High emotions running throughout the day. And towards the end of the day, the atmosphere in the room just grows and grows and grows. And it's absolutely electric. First LEGO League, if you haven't heard of it before, First LEGO League is the largest international STEM competition, and we're really, really proud to have worked closely with GCHQ Bude over the past 3 years to grow the competition's presence in North Cornwall and North Devon, and we have done that by tirelessly working with local schools to increase engagement. We're really, really proud of the progress that we have made. I'm looking forward to this year, which is our first 2-day event. We've had 22 schools sign up, which means we have to run over 2 days. So it's really exciting for us as an organisation, and I feel for our region in general. So who are we? Well, we are Cognition Learning CIC, which stands for Community Interest Company. We're a not-for-profit set up in Bude with the aim of inspiring and bringing greater opportunities to children in our remote and rural area. We have been partnering with GCHQ Bude as one of their outreach partners, and together we have grown First LEGO League in the region from 5 teams up to an incredible 22 this year. We have been in schools helping, offering support sessions for teachers, offering professional development for teachers, and alongside that we also run a lot of workshops in schools. We run their computing programmes at primary level, and we also work with GCHQ and the Cyber First programme to increase cybersecurity awareness as well. We work across schools throughout Cornwall, Devon, Somerset and Dorset now. Yay! We have been so proud of the growth that we've had since our concept in 2020. So the team at Cognition Learning is myself, I'm one of the company directors, and Sophie on the left in that photo, who you'll be seeing around, is another company director. We're both former teachers, and we set up the company alongside another lady, Lindsay, who is a scientist, a doctor of geology, and she has a great passion for science, and we set up in lockdown to bring sort of a new type of learning to children in our local area. We are incredibly fortunate to have the most fantastic team of employees who are passionate educators and really, really engaged with First LEGO League. They're team coaches, they're in schools, they're offering support, and we also have a group of volunteers who come along and help us out at several of our events. We're really fortunate to have such a passionate, engaged and supportive team holding us up. The next thing I want to start with is just a huge thank you. Thank you for your time to sign up for this training, but also for your time volunteering on the days, whether you're able to help out across both days, one day, or even just a morning. We wouldn't be able to do any of these large events without our team of volunteers. So thank you so much for volunteering and for stepping up to make the days possible for all of these wonderful young children and young people who you're going to be meeting in the next couple of weeks. So if you haven't heard of First LEGO League Challenge before, this is a whistle-stop view. I probably won't do it complete justice to the size and scale of this programme. First LEGO League Challenge is for 9 to 16-year-olds, so it's a really nice competition that bridges primary and secondary, hopefully allows children over a long period of time to develop a firm interest in STEM. We love that longitudinal sort of impact that this competition has, and it's a national competition. We have regional heats up here in North Cornwall, North Devon, which are the ones we host in Bude. There are other events in Exeter, Plymouth and down at HMRS Coldrose, which is hosted by Cornwall County Council. Each day we'll have one overall winner who gets the highest score across the board. But there are several other awards that we can give to the students along the day, and I've got lots of these to build, which are the First LEGO League trophies. Growing First LEGO League in North Cornwall has been a long-term project for us. With the great support of GCHQ Bude, we've managed to grow from 5 teams in our first year to an incredible 22 teams taking part this year. Shh, sorry, dog. Your support really matters, whether you are supporting us as an independent volunteer or whether you're coming to us from your place of work or your engineering company. Your support is integral to making sure that these events work. They are aiming to get a place at the UK National Finals, which will be held in Harrogate on the 20th of April this year. So how is First LEGO League scored and what do these children have to do? Well, these kids have been working on their projects and for over 6 months now. So this is a 12 to 14 week programme across the schools. They might have been in after-school clubs, lunchtime clubs, self-directed, home educators. We've got an after-school girls group coming along. It is a really long-term project, and this is the culmination for many teams. They won't be progressing past this stage, so it's really important that we make this day the best it can possibly be. The game is scored across 4 different areas. The robot game, which is held on the robot game tables and which is scored according to the number of points they get, and the responsibility for scoring on that comes through the referees. The next 3 parts are all judged in the judging sessions. So judges, you own 75% of the scores to allocate. So they get scored on their robot design and their game strategy, their innovation project and presentation, and their core values as a team. And all of those are equally weighted at 25%. So the teams could, in theory, do absolutely no programming, but still get 75% of the scores if they've got a really good project and they're a great team. So it does balance out really well. So I wanted to give you a brief overview of what a referee or a timekeeper actually does on the day. So the referee is in charge of the robot game. You're in charge of making sure the right teams are at the table, that we're running to schedule, and that you reset the tables in between each match so that everything's nice, fresh and ready for the next team to come up and take their time. You're responsible for running equipment checks, making sure that the children are using legal robots, and completing the score sheets and submitting them into the scorekeeper, who might be me on the day or another member of our staff. The timekeeper is obviously in charge of the timers, making sure that everyone's ready, starting and stopping on time. But overall, I would say your most important role as a referee or timekeeper on the day is to keep the kids calm, happy and positive. This is an emotional part of the day. The robots will cause no end of frustration. They won't do what they've programmed them to do. I mean, especially if you work in tech, you're probably familiar with the fact that it doesn't work when you want it to. They will be frustrated and it's your job to kind of sort of manage that frustration with them. So helping them to see the benefits. They do get a lot of bonus points, throughout the day. They get 20 points for an equipment check. They might get 50 if they don't interfere with their game. So they're not going to score 0, but it is just about keeping that positivity up, offering them constructive feedback at the end of each robot game, things they might want to look at or work on for the next game, and reminding them that they do have 3 attempts at this. So it's really about keeping that positive energy at the table and sort of firefighting any sort of emergencies that might come up in terms of emotional strain on the day. They'll obviously have their teachers, their coaches, their mentors there with them as well. You're not solely responsible for these children's well-being, but making sure that everything's smooth and it runs well across the day and giving the children the benefit of the doubt whenever needed is one of the key principles of being a referee. So in order to maintain the calm, we're looking for the following qualities in our referees: that you're a great communicator with young people, you can explain the rules to them, explain what they have or haven't done right if needed to be, you're enthusiastic and just generally quite positive, compassionate and empathetic if they don't manage to achieve as they wish they had, and be willing to share your insights and your advice with the team, their coach, their mentors, and wish them well for the next time they approach your table. Okay, so I'm just going to show you an example schedule of the day. This will be sent over officially once it's all been okayed. We know the teams are all coming, and we'll have versions of this printed out around the hall. So teams come to the table 2 at a time. So you've got 2 teams, 2 tables, and although they're not competing, they're cooperating, I suppose, really. They're trying to complete some of the missions. There's the one mission with the stage where if both teams manage to get the pink dot out, they get bonus points. So they go up together. They're not a competition. They're scored within their own right, but it does add to the atmosphere having 2 teams at a time. So as you can see on this example schedule, for example, the first robot game, the numbers in the light blue and the green. The light blue represents one table, the green represents the other. They're next to each other and the teams will be paired. So in this schedule, Team 3 and Team 11 will be having their first robot game at 9:30. It's not the best of luck, but hopefully they've had lots of time to practice and to get themselves all sorted. Team 4 will then go up against Team 8 and so on and so forth. The teams will all have 3 attempts at the robot game throughout the day, 2 in the morning alongside their judging session, and then the really exciting part is the afternoon when parents and adults can come and support and cheer on for those final robot games prior to the awards ceremony. So as I just said, there are 3 robot games each per team. Only the highest score counts. So if they get one mission, say their first mission, they only score 90 points. The second one, they score 150. The third, they get 110. It'll be the second game that goes towards their overall score. The robot must complete all missions autonomously. People can't be there helping it do things. Also, they're not supposed to have any iPads or Bluetooth devices at the table. The teams have all been told to download their programs onto their hubs and run them directly from their hub, which is the robot, the brick on top of the robot. If teams are having trouble with that during the day, it might be that their first game they need to do via the Bluetooth is not strictly allowed, but you can ask one of our members of staff to come and we will download their programs for them, and maybe we'll just slide that under the radar, and hopefully their first game isn't their best one. But do just let us know if you have any teams that are using their devices at the table, because we can come and show them how to download their programs onto their robots. The other thing that you're looking out for as referees is gracious professionalism. Now this counts towards teams' core values score. Gracious professionalism could be demonstrated by a team offering support to another team at the robot games table, cheering each other on, teams coming to watch other teams take part, teams cheering everybody, teams maybe if someone drops a robot offering up theirs to complete the missions or helping them to fix it. Just generally being really good sportsmen and sportswomen, sportspeople, and enjoying the games, adding to the quality of the whole event. There are a number of missions for the children to complete on the robot game table. The robot games tables look really, really impressive. They've got all these fantastic missions all over them. Anything that the robots interact with is orange Lego. And there are a range of different challenges, whether they're crashing into things, hitting things down, lifting things up, and some of them are quite challenging. Children will have got a strategy about which ones they've gone for and why. You'll probably see some of the same missions being completed over and over again, and that's just going to be because they're the simplest ones. The easiest way to get to grips with the scoring, other than just reading through the scoring rubrics and the rule book, as I'll send those over to you, is to watch the mission video on YouTube. By searching Masterpiece Robot Game Mission Video, you can find the whole robot game on there, and I will say it probably will feel a little bit overwhelming, but once you see the tables, once you get there in the morning, I'll run through everything with you. We'll make sure you're completely happy. And when you've got the score sheet, it's literally just, is this mission completed? Yes. If it's done this, 10 points. If it's done this, 20 points. No, 0 points. And you just fill in the sheet. So you're just circling scores the whole time. It's not overly complicated. Resetting the missions, you'll get used to that after you've done it once or twice. And certainly by the end of the games, you'll be a dab hand at resetting that table. So the video runs through all the major scoring and all of the points for the various missions that the children will or may complete over the robot games. The game process itself, what you need to do is as follows really. It's quite self-explanatory, but as the team comes up to the table, they're only allowed 2 members of their team at either home area, as you can see in that little diagram. So 2 members either side. The rest of their team is to be stood there. Maybe they'll have banners, they'll be cheering each other on, but they can't approach the table. Only the 4 members of the team that are up at the table can touch and interact with the robot. You're going to conduct a quick equipment and team check, making sure they've got the right team there, you've got the right equipment, checking the robot. There's a height limit. None of the robots will be over that, but checking the robots are within the height limit, checking all their equipment fits within those yellow outlined areas, which we call the home area, and that the robot starts in either the red or the blue launch area. Throughout the game, the robot can start at multiple times, but each time it starts, it must be in one of the home zones. Children can't touch the robot out on the mat without losing one of their precision tokens, but they may well be able to touch it in the home area, and I imagine most teams will have a code that runs it between the home area when they need to change ends of the table. Your job during the game is to keep hands off. You might want to have hold of the precision tokens or take those every time a child interferes with their robots whilst it's on the game section, so you can take those away. But other than that, you're hands off on the mat, observing what happens. You can keep track of the missions, but actually the final scoring isn't complete until the game is completely over, because unfortunately sometimes what happens is a robot will be going around doing a mission. It will complete the mission and then it goes off and does something else, and then right towards the end of the game it might come back and knock the model back, and unfortunately score is taken at the end of play, the state of the table, once that 2.5 minutes is up. So your timekeeper will announce that the time is up. You and the fellow referee or one of the other people stood around will go and judge that mission, this mission, this mission, and complete the scoring. Once your scores are complete, you can liaise with the team, let them know what they got, show them the missions that you've marked, and check they're happy with that, because once you've reset the game table, there's no coming back. So you need to make sure that the team is happy with the score that you've got, that you haven't missed any missions off, and then once that score is decided, that score comes to myself or whoever's submitting the data on the day, and we will submit it into the Event Hub data collection. Now, I've mentioned these scoring rubrics a number of times, so I just wanted to show you an example. So for each robot game, you'll have the team number, the number of their match, so if it's their first, the second or the third match that they've got, your referee name or initials, and which table they're playing on, table 1 or table 2, the blue one or the green one on that scheduler. And as you can see, you've got the scores, the complete total scores there in red, and your job is to put the total score in the column and in the little blue box to the side there. So your equipment inspection, they get 20 points if it fulfills that, 20 for the next mission if they complete that, and you can see on mission number 2 there's a couple of different things that might a couple of different ways in which they could complete the mission and score different numbers of points. Everything's really explicit. It's laid out very clearly for you, and yeah, like I said, it sounds frightening, the number of things you have to remember as a referee, but actually once you get into a rhythm of it, the marking's really quite simple, and it's really fun and a really satisfying role to have. At the end of our day, we have a lovely awards ceremony, and we've got a really good range of trophies and awards to be giving out. You have the Overall Champions Award, which is that large trophy in the middle, but we also have one for the team who scores the highest on the core values, one for the innovation project, one for the robot design, and one for the robot performance. There is a Judge and Mentor Award, or actually one of the things we did last year which went down really well was a Team's Team Award. We have the opportunity to give an optional award which all the other teams on the day vote for a team other than themselves to win an award. That last year was so heartwarming because it was a team that had been really helpful throughout the day, who had shared their resources, who'd given hints and tips to other people, and they really were a fantastic all-round team. And that was not only noticed by the adults in the room, but it was great to see that recognised by the students as well. So it's probably my favourite trophy goes to them. I really hope you're excited for your role of judging. It is an amazingly fulfilling role for the day. Seeing these ideas come to life and how the students present them is incredibly worthwhile, and I hope you have the most fantastic day doing it. If you have any questions in the lead up to the event, please do get in touch with me, Bryony, with an I, Briony, at cognitionlearning.co.uk. I'll be emailing you out all the resources that you'll need, and everything will be printed and ready for you on the day. Thank you ever so much for watching, and please do reach out if you've got any questions. So once again, I just want to thank you on behalf of myself and all the Cognition team, as well as all the students, teachers and people, parents, supporters who are there on the day. Thank you for making these events possible by volunteering your time, your energy and your expertise to inspiring the next generation of STEM enthusiasts.